Hey people, how is it going? Welcome back to my channel. You know, I'm Natalia Suri and welcome to my world of books and occult sciences. Yes, and yes, for all those subscribers who have missed out on my last two videos, do check them out. My last video was Think Like a Monk, a book review of J.K.'s latest book. Now, how different was Think Like a Monk from the Law of Attraction books, and all those positive thinking books is what I have put forward in that review, so do check that video out. I'm sharing the link in the description box below, plus my 5-book recommendation on Hinduism and Hindu books and spirituality and philosophy, that video also, so do check that video out. I'm sharing that link as well. Now coming to today's video, what is today's video about? It is about a book review of the book Troubled Blood by Robert Galbraith. For all those who do not know, Robert Galbraith is none other than J.K. Rowling, the master herself. So this book was something I was really looking forward to. It is the 5th one in the Cormoran series, Cormoran Strike series. If you have read the previous one, you are going to love this one. But especially, this is a thick book of about 900 pages, 930 or so. So if you are the one who does not like those thick books, then perhaps you would just want to drop this one, because it's a really thick book. It took me about 5 days to read that book, so I have been very busy for the week reading this book. Wherever I went, I took it along, and I just loved that experience. And what is the book about and the story and what was my experience, I'm just going to share that with you right now. But before that, let me tell you, where did I buy this book? It was for about 412 rupees on Kindle, 742 or so on Amazon. Now I prefer the Kindle version because, as I've always said, that thrillers are something that's just a one-time read for me. So I preferred buying it on Kindle rather than on the paperback. But plus there are those apps like VOODOO available where you could get a cheaper version. I was just too lazy to get into all that, so I read it on Kindle. And now the book review. So it's a very engaging tale. So if you are one of those who likes those missing people thrillers, then this is something which you are going to thoroughly enjoy. It's a cold case. Now especially what makes it very engaging is the fact that it's a cold case which has closed about 40 years ago. Now digging something back 40 years ago made the whole novel extremely engaging. If you have read the other 4 parts of the Robert Galbraith series, of the Cormoran Strike series which she has written, now in this one, this is the 5th one about that novel. As you know, she's written a series on it, so it is very different from the other 4. I have read the other two from that series, and this will be my 3rd one. So I found it very different and very engaging. Now what happens is, Cormoran has gone on a holiday, the main protagonist of the story, which is a part of the 5 series. Now before even I say that, let me tell you that this has got nothing to link with the other 4 series apart from common characters, but you can read it independently, so it doesn't form a part of the link of as a cycle. You can just read it independently. The characters would be common, but that's fine. So Cormoran goes back to his hometown to visit family, and then he's sitting in a pub. She tells him that, my mother disappeared about 40 years ago. I was just 1 year old and I don't remember much. But this is the striking point, that it becomes the striking point of the case and the investigation. She tells Cormoran that her mother one day she finished all her work and she was supposed to meet her friend in a pub, but she never reached there. Now what happened in that time is what really made the case very interesting, and the way the chapter kept unfolding and the secrets kept unfolding is something which was very engaging. Everyone believed that the woman was murdered by a serial killer, but Cormoran is the one who would think different once he starts investigating the case. Now what makes this book a must read from my side is the red herrings. You can see it, you feel it, that you know what's going to come, but there is a bang on your face that, oh, I thought it was right, but it was completely left. So this is what made the book very, very interesting. The amount of red herrings she uses, and when you know that it's coming and it's right there, something out of the blue comes up. So this was something which made the book very, very interesting and a page turner. Now the role of Robin and Cormoran Strike, they appear like you're real people. You have met them, you have known them. In fact, I should give it to Cormoran Strike for literally bringing tears in my eyes for about 3 to 4 times in the book, because you feel so connected with those characters. You know, it's always not the story that much about the characters. It's always said that that one story is out there, somebody has written it or you have read it, it resonates, but the characters are what makes the story very different. And Robert Galbraith of J.K. Rowling has done it in a very, very, very good way, that I could connect with those characters even after reading the book. After leaving it aside, I could feel those characters in my life, perhaps, you know, connect with them at a very, very strong level. Another point which I found very, very interesting in this book is that Cormoran, prior to him, there were 2 other police officers who were investigating the case, and Cormoran finds the note of one of those officers who had a mental breakdown, and he's written everything in codes, and the decoding of that codes made the book very, very interesting for me. There are dodgy witnesses, there's a psychopath killer, there are some incomplete investigations, incomplete notes, is what makes this book extremely interesting, plus the parallel cases that Cormoran Strike is trying to solve. So this book as a whole comes like that buffet of things where you have the drama, you have the action, you have the emotions, which is there in full. And yes, then you feel fully connected with the book. It is an extremely, extremely ambitious project of Robert Galbraith, or I should say J.K. Rowling. It was a masterpiece, I must say. She has done a lot of research. A very well planned book with everything out there that would keep you hooked to read till the end. And yes, what happens is not what I'm going to tell you. I have given you some pointers as to what the book is all about. And about the language, I don't really need to comment anything when it comes from a master. So if I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so this book was a special treat for me. Her language is just superb, and as I said, when you feel connected to the characters, you have to give it to the language and the emotions which she has used. So yes, it's a must read from my side. I would recommend it. But as I said, the only one thing which I found a little off was that the size of the book, it's 900 some pages. So if you are one of those who does not like the thick books, then perhaps you may not want to read it, but I would still advise you to read it. It may perhaps at a slower pace, because it is an extremely, extremely interesting page turner. You cannot leave it. In fact, to the fact that I carried this book everywhere around for 5 days wherever I went in my house, like it was something which I could not just leave. So guys, this is my today's video on the book, and yes, you know what you need to do. You need to press that subscribe button, share your likes and dislikes, and I have to tell you about my blog before I go, www.nataliasuri.com. do check it out for religious mysteries and articles. You'll laugh till you drop, as I've always said. And yes, you know what you need to do. Keep smiling and tune into my next video, which I'll be posting in very soon. Take care of yourself with lots and lots of love. Bye.